behind, but it'll take a. Yep, I can see her live. Good evening, everybody. Just make sure it's shut.
Yep. Okay, hold on.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, got it.
We're live. We're good. We need to turn the sound on.
Okay, sorry.
Right, so we'll give it about 5 minutes for everybody to nip on in and catch up. If you can send Hal a message like normal.
Let me know if you're cooking.
For all the people that are new to this, like the Crows fans, because we do have Ronnie here cooking. Hello, Ronnie.
Hello.
Ronnie back here doing helps out. So we're going to have a few different people here that I think don't know the format of how it works. So basically, message in the box, tell the wife you're cooking. You get any issues, you've missed something, send it to her. She relays it back to me, and then we tell you what you're doing. So nobody misses nothing.
Right, where's the comments?
We have shot words, which come out later on, which we just have a little bit of a drink to. I'll probably lay off of the tequila proper shots till about halfway through, till I got a lot of the stuff going, because I do turn a bit weird with tequila. So apologies now if I get too drunk. Right, so who's in? Who's in the house? Can we have some messages over telling us who's in? Hello, little Helen's in.
Charlie Power, Simon Hargate, James Davis, Peter Ian Bradley, Maria Foot.
All different names coming up. Maria Foot, never heard of her. Peter Ian Bradley. Annie Joyce is a new one.
Luby Lou, she's doing a veggie.
Luby Lou's doing a veggie option. That's going to be fun. Luby Lou always gives me hassle.
Beverly's in.
Right then, I'm just going to go through a few things whilst people are joining in. We're looking at needing sort of two biggish size pans. So you're going to want, I'm using like a little flat base wok. This is going to be for my chicken moulet. So if you've got sort of a pan like that, and then for the beans, you want a sort of deepish pan, because this is going to be like a baked, it's basically Mexican baked beans. So you want two sort of reasonable, nice size pans.
Josie says she's dicing her bacon.
Josie's dicing her bacon. Should have had that done earlier, Josie. We're also going to need tin foil. I didn't tell you that, Ronnie. You got a bit of tin foil? So everybody, we need a little bit of tin foil. That's if you're doing everything. I appreciate everybody's not going to be doing the whole lot. But the tin foil is to make our little tortilla salad bowl baskets. So if you're doing that, you do need tin foil. If you're not doing that, I know B's not doing the salad, so you ain't need that. Right, I'll quickly whip through what we're doing so everybody's got an idea. Right, so we're doing chicken mole. And I apologise to any Mexicans out there, because this is a quick version. The actual original chicken mole, because I do go and research these things, believe it or not, has 25 plus ingredients in it. It has about 4 or 5 different kinds of chilies, lots of different fragrant powders, paprikas, stuff. It all gets ground together into a paste, and they cook it over a couple of days. We can't do that, so I found a quick version, and that's what we're doing. So it's not quite chicken mole, but it is very good because I've had a taste of it. It's basically chili, sweet chocolate. Get away from the chocolate. Everybody forget the chocolate. You don't taste it, but it gives it super flavour. And that's going to be served up in our tortillas with the pickled onion that we're going to make as well, which is really good and simple.
So Shane's just baking, watching, enjoying, and drinking.
Shane's doing everything, is he?
No, he's not cooking.
Oh, no, Shane's drinking.
I'm watching.
And then we're on to the Drunken Beans, which are called, again, I'll try and pronounce this, frijoles borrachos, which means drunk, basically. And they're drunken beans. So basically, it's going to be beans cooked in beer with loads of spices. That's the second part of it. We're doing the salad corn bowls. So we're going to have like a nice sort of chili, coriander, limey salad that's going to go in there, served up in them. We're doing a guacamole, really easy to do. You don't need to buy any of that shop stuff ever again. And then we're going to teach you how to make a Mexican cocktail. So that's what we're going to be going through today. So 2 pans, wooden spoons, couple of knives, tin foil. And if you haven't chopped your chilies up, it might be a good idea now just to chop all your chilies up in one go, so that you don't have to keep chili in different boards, because you'll be here and you'll go like that, and then you'll have a burny ear and a burny nose because you keep chopping chilies all the way through. Right then, so I reckon we've got to be good to go. So thumbs up from everybody. Everybody gives me a thumbs up. Lets us know where we can go.
Short words, not yet, Simon. Simon Murray.
Short words are come once we get. Let's get the
chilli out the way.
What are we doing first? The beans. We're going to be doing the beans first. So let's get the beans on, and I'll sort of short word out then. Right, Ronnie.
Yeah.
So beans first.
Cool.
Which means we can tuck into that nice beer in a second.
Do we drink?
Right, oh, right, yeah. I thought you were ahead of me. I need to do mine, yeah. So pinto beans. That's what we should have. I could only get one. They seem to have sold out. I think people are cottoned on that we're doing Mexican beans, so I had to get a few bellotti beans just to break it up a bit. So open your tins up and drain them beans off. You don't want none of that liquid in it. So just tin open them up, get them drained off. The original recipe uses proper fresh ones or dried ones, which you leave for about 2 days, and then you have to cook it for about 4 hours. Again, this is a quick version. The leffe, yeah, we're getting to that now. I can't wait to open that because I'm really looking forward to some of that.
Mary O'Toole is watching in the lounge away from Josie cooking.
Mary's in the lounge, leaving Josie to mess up the rest of the house.
Annie Joyce has got bellotti beans.
Yeah, that'd be fine, Annie. I've got that. I've gone for half and half. When you actually open them, I personally don't know what the difference is, but if I show you them there, they pretty much they pretty much look the same. That's in both mixed up, so not an issue. Right, everybody get your big pan. Whatever you're doing your bean pan in, all you need to do is make sure you've got a bit of a side because you're going to put beer in it and you're going to have a lot of liquid in it, so it's going to become very stewy-like. Right, so flip the pan on the heat, get that warming up. You don't need no oil because you're going to have fat out the bacon.
How hot, Gary, on electric?
Sorry?
How hot on an electric stove?
Oh, you got electric. I hate electric. Should have got gas, Ronnie. Put it on high to start with. Get it on high to start with so you can get a bit of heat in there.
David's watching now.
David's in the house. Promised you. I'll give you 3 points, David. I did say I'd have a word, didn't I? And they went and done it. Leeds didn't, did they? Crap. Right, so in the pan, you should have that warming up. We should have your diced bacon, which needs to go into that pan. Just give it a second. If I pop that down a bit, you can see my pan. There we go. So I'm just waiting for that to heat. I can feel when the heat gets warm. No oil. Nobody needs any oil in this because you've got a bit of fat in the bacon. It's going to come out of that. Right. So bacon into your pan.
Do I need to put the oven on? Said Mark Woolley.
You're going to want it on, Mark, but not yet. We're literally having it on for 10 minutes just to bake off the tortillas. Right, so everybody should be having their bacon into the pan. Just don't let it burn. Just keep stirring it around with a wooden spoon.
Mark wants to know when he can drink beer.
Mark Woolley, beer's coming in a second. Hence why I'm doing beans first so I can drink beer.
Lee Flynn says she wishes she could do it, but she can do it. Watch it back and do it, can't she? Lee Flynn.
Lee Flynn. Yeah, you can watch it back. It stays up here. Right, as you can see there, I've got my bacons cooking around. And you'll notice you're getting a little bit of liquid now out of the bacon. That's the fat coming out of it. That's why we don't want no oil. We don't want oil all to the top of this. Right, so you can chuck your garlic into there now, in with the bacon, which is, if I go through my recipe, let's get my glasses on, I can tell everybody. So we should have had our 6 rashers of bacon, which were diced up. They should be cooking in the thing.
Shane wants to know where Ronnie's apron is. He said, Gary, you've got a butte there.
Oh, I have. I think you lot are even on it, ain't you?
Josie made it.
those damn crows. That's what. How cool is that apron? So it's like it's a denim apron, but all patches on. That was like the coolest birthday present I've ever had, I think. Right, so let's get back to this. Bacon in there. I've chopped my garlic in now. And now I'm going to pop my onions in. So that should be one onion diced up. Right, in our pan we should have three things. Bacon cooking, diced onions, and garlic. Now you don't want to burn this. We just want to sweat this out. So if it's getting a little bit too hot, turn it down a bit. So keep an eye on yours, Ronnie, because you've got the old electric.
Josie said 2 cloves.
2 cloves.
of garlic.
Oh, did I not? Yeah, 2 cloves of garlic. Didn't say that part, did I? She's not even in. She's still picking me. She's still picking me up. Yeah, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 onion, 6 rashers of bacon, diced up, cooking in this pan. There you go. Right, we all good over there, Ronnie?
Yeah, smelling beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, this is just like the base of the sauce, see?
Toy said red or white onion?
White onion. The red onion's for the salad, Toya.
B said, can you only cook if your kitchens are the same colour? Yours and Ronnie's are the same.
Our kitchens are the same colour, are they?
Yeah.
No, he's got a fancier kitchen than me. His kitchen's definitely fancier, but he's got electric, so I'm better because I've got gas.
I agree.
John says, when does she open the tequila? Not yet. When we do shot words.
Yeah, Shopware's coming in there, but I think Annie already opened it earlier.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. Right, so I'm sweating that down there. This is what we should be looking like in your pans. Can we see that? I can't get used to where this camera is on the... There we go.
On a delay, so I can't tell you.
There you go. So you can see that, and I can smell just a nice base of garlic, onions, and bacon. As you can see, I'm not browning it. I'm not looking to colour it.
Shane said he designed your kitchen, Ronnie.
Shane did.
Your kitchen?
Shane did. Is that looking all right, Gary? Yeah,
Yeah, that's looking good.
Excellent.
So just keep that on there. Keep stirring him around. Right, so we can start with the next bit now. Right, so this is where everybody decides now how hot you want these beans. Do you want a spicy one? If you do, pop some extra chilies in. But if you want about, what have I got down here? I've got jalapenos down, freshly diced. Did anybody get freshly diced jalapenos? I couldn't. They seem to be non-existent at the moment. So I've just gone for standard chilies. So I'm going to pop sort of 2 chilies worth into my mix in there.
What?
Ronnie, all right?
Yeah, two chilies worth into the bowl, Ronnie.
Oh,
Into the bowl?
Oh, into the bacon, into your bacon.
Put it in your bacon.
If you want it hotter, into your bacon, Ronnie, yeah? If you want it hotter, put more in. If you don't want it, Mark, I know you might be cooking for the kids. Just put a bit less in. So bacon goes into that. Chili goes into the bacon. Next, we want the cumin. So I have to keep putting my glasses on here and they keep falling off. Right, so teaspoon of oregano, teaspoon of chili powder. This is all going into the mix here.
You've got close then.
A teaspoon of chili powder. Teaspoon of oregano.
cumin as well.
How much cumin?
I could be wrong here. Oh, half a teaspoon of cumin. If anybody's watching me, you can see I'm not really, I just guess it. I just chip a bit in, yeah, that's half a teaspoon. Right, keep this stirring around. Right. thing. Right, so everybody now, this is the stage we should all be at. We should have this bacon cooking in the pan with the onions and the garlic. Into that, you should put your chilies, however hot you want it. 1, 2, 3 chilies, you decide. I put the teaspoon of chili powder in. If you don't want it too hot, cut that back as well. And then we got a half a teaspoon of cumin in there. The reason we put fresh chilies and dried chilies, because the dry is like an intenser flavour and it makes it slightly better. Right. Now I'm getting a nice woof of smell coming up here. Now this is what mine's looking like. You notice it's gone slightly browner now. That's that. And then into this, we want to chuck our beans. So grab your... I've got another one. Right. So into that now, I've got the chilies cooking, which are giving off a bit of...
After the cumin, what else? So chilies, yeah?
Yeah, so chilies, cumin, and chili powder should have been in with the beans. That's mixing around now with your onion, garlic, and bacon mix.
Chili powder.
So yeah, 3 things. Right, so I'll quickly refresh this, just make sure everybody's all up. Right, there we go. That's a good picture. So into that we add bacon, garlic, onions. That was all sort of cooked off. Then into that you should have popped in some couple of chilies, a teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon of cumin. Adjust the chili as you see fit. Then I pop my beans into that, giving them a little stir fry off, getting rid of all that briny stuff that's gone down. So now I've got a nice dry mix. So into that now we're going to add our beers. So we've gone for the leffe brune because I couldn't find Mexican beer, and that's about the closest that we could get. Even though it's not Mexican, it's what the flavour that we're looking for. If anybody's never tried this, you're in for a surprise. It is amazing. Right, so anybody else dying of chili fumes in it? We're like having to open the kitchen door, eh?
Ronnie's got it.
Right then, so now we're looking at 330 of this going in there. Right, so 330, that's 750 there. So that means we got half to drink.
Woohoo!
So tip half of it in, yeah?
Yeah. There we go. I've tipped half in. I've got half left myself. Give that a little stir up.
Everyone's enjoying that. Same beer time.
Yeah, half a beer left each. That's if you bought what we said. If you bought like smaller bottles, sorry. Right, so now that's coming to the boil. So turn your heat up now with this. What we want to do is raise the temperature of this, get the beer up to a boiling point.
So Charmaine Damon said they had a technical problem, just got back in. We've done bacon, onion, garlic and chilli. What do we do next?
Right, okay then. This is for Charmaine. If you listen to, and everybody else can forget this, you should have fried off your bacon, your onions, and garlic. You should have chucked in a chilli to your taste, 1, 2, 3, however hot you want it. Your teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon of cumin. That should have gone into there. Now you want to pop your your 330 mils of whatever beer you're using, but we used that, and we were lucky because we got half left, Charmaine. Which I'm going to try. Right, so now we got that boiling up. Now this is where we want to pop in our brown sugar and our treacle. So you want a tablespoon of treacle or molasses, or if you didn't have that, you could use dark brown sugar. Basically, we're looking for that really nice flavour of like dark. I mean, this is when you see recipes for molasses, you're like, what's that? It's that black treacle. This is great in a Christmas cake because it's a dark colour.
What was that? That was a tablespoon, was it?
Yeah, tablespoon of that. So big spoon, that one, Ronnie. And you'll notice you get very sticky hands. But like I say, if you're cooking for anything else, molasses, just get black treacle, same thing. But I didn't realise how much Mexicans cook with molasses. So if you didn't have black treacle, you just put an extra spoonful of brown sugar. So we should have a tablespoon of brown sugar in as well. I'd like to say to everybody as well, I've never made these. This is the first time I've ever made them.
Luby Lou said she got her jalapenos from Morrison's pizza counter.
Ah, good one. Yeah. Right. Let's get that on the backy. Right, so you'll notice this is now a reasonably runny mix because obviously we've popped that beer in. So now what we need to do is this has got to reduce down. So we want to bring this to the boil and then let it simmer. If you've got a lid you can put on, all the good, do that, not a problem. And it should thicken up with the molasses and the sugar, should give us a bit of a caramelly sauce. So we've got to let that reduce down, but you must keep stirring it. So just as you pass it during the night, give it a stir. We don't want it burning. Right, so the last things to go into that was some salt. So, you know, like a pinch of salt in there. I can't get used to the cameras being, it's in the middle, normally it's on the end. So a teaspoon of salt into that. Give that a stir there. Then we want some coriander. Literally, coriander is in everything Mexican. And what I do, this is a little tip for everybody that's watching, because I'm assuming everybody's got loads of fresh coriander. Did you have a big bunch of it, Ronnie?
Yeah, I got that, yeah.
Yep, so you want to pop into your beans, what is it, a tablespoon? Can't read. Tablespoon of that, so nice pinch.
Annie Joyce says coriander is the devil's herb.
Nah, it's amazing. So, as you can see there, I took my coriander out of a little pot. What I do is buy big bunches of herbs, cut them up, put them in little pots, put them in the freezer, and I've always got fresh herbs, and then you just take out what you want. So you can, if anybody's got any coriander left after today, chop it up, put it in the freezer, and then you can just take out whenever you want it. And then into that now, a squeeze of lime. Right, to do your limes, people will know this trick anyway. Onto a chopping board, grab your lime, just give it a roll like that. Now you'll feel it all break down. Can we feel that break down in the middle? Whoa! Don't waste that beer, Ronnie. Don't waste that beer.
Drop, yeah. Didn't waste a drop.
Right. Cut it in half.
Everyone's saying they hate coriander.
Yeah, but that's because if you cook it in this, when you get it in there, it's the flavours. So once you've rolled your your lime, you got it nice and soft. Grab yourself a fork, dig your fork in there like that, and then just twist that around and get all the juice out. It's like a great way of, and you dig it all around. You get a pip in there. We ain't worried about a pip. So we'll have a juice of a lime in there. And then at the end, if anybody wants it more limey or more coriander, we can adjust the taste just as we're about to serve it. But for the moment, that's that one done. Right, so I'm going to quickly recap everything that I've done here. You can see that's starting to broth up now. We're starting to get a nice stew in there. So once that fully comes to the boil, I'm going to turn that down and just let that simmer away. But like I say, remember, keep stirring it. Don't let it go dry. You should have, if you look at mine, you can see it's quite liquidy. or quite what we call runny, but that will quite Ronnie. that will all go down. Right, I'm going to quickly run through that before we start the next one for any latecomers or anybody that's a little bit behind. Right, so Drunken Beans. We started off with 6 slices of bacon, diced up. We chucked it in the pan. We fried it off. Then we fried off the onions with it. 1 white onion diced up. Then we put in 2 cloves of garlic. Fried that off. We added a couple of chilies, a teaspoon of chili powder, half teaspoon of cumin, all into that. The beans then went into it. We fried them off to get rid of any excess sort of brine from the beans. Then we chucked in 330 of beer, or half a bottle in our case, because we've got the other half to drink, which is there.
Martin James Hunt said it smells great so far.
That is so good. Right, so then that went into there, and then into the beer bean mix, we added some oregano, teaspoon of black treacle, tablespoon of black treacle, tablespoon of brown sugar, pinch of salt, juice of a lime, and some coriander. That is the Drunken Beans done. All you got to do now is just remember to keep stirring them. We all there, Ronnie?
Yes.
So now you just need to bring them to the boil. Mine's come to the boil, so I'm going to turn them down on a low heat. And I'm just going to let them simmer away. They need to be on the stove for about an hour. So we've got time check?
It is not. 6:26. So
6:26. Right. So they need to be on the stove for around an hour. And you will notice they will reduce down, and then all them flavours are just going to compact down into a nice sauce. Fingers crossed, as I've never done it before. It should work. Right, now we're going to crack on with the chicken mole now.
Are you doing short words or?
Short words will be coming out once we get the mole on. Once we get that on, we can have a bit of fun then, because everything else is a piece of piss after that. This is the right. So I'm going to quickly go through the ingredients for the chicken mole. You need olive oil, which is going to be used at the start to fry it. You should have a diced onion, white. You should have 4 cloves of garlic chopped up. You should have 1, 2, 3 chilies, depending on your heat. 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder. You should have 600 grams of boneless chicken thigh. If you've got breasts, what I would suggest with a breast is cut it in half that way, so you've got 2 sort of flat bits. You don't need to dice it up or nothing. If you've got thighs, we're just chucking them straight in the pan, which is thighs are better. The reason we have chicken breast is chicken breast goes dry too quick, whereas if we have chicken thighs, there's a bit more fat in them and they won't go as they won't dry out as much. You should have a tin of tomatoes, salt and pepper, maple syrup, couple of limes, more coriander, peanuts, raisins. So hopefully we've got all that going, and we shall start. Right, let's go on this one here. Right, so first off, dash of oil in your pan. I can cook that, you can see me right from there then, can't you? So I'm going to pop a bit of olive oil into there. Just line your pan up there, Ronnie. Right, so get that warming up, and then into that pan we want to chuck your onions, garlic, and your chilies. Again, we're going to end up with this chili mix is going to start hurting my eyes again once them chilies start going. So onions, 1 whole onion, 4 cloves of garlic into that pan there. Some chili, however much chili you want in there, into there. Don't forget to give beans a stir. I mean, it's smelling Mexican already, isn't it? Again, don't burn these. We just want to sort of cook them like see-through. That's what we're looking for. Translucent is the word, the technical term. Because if you burn your chilies and your garlic, especially if you burn garlic, like in this in the oil, it turns bitter. What we're trying to do is, by doing this, you're breaking out the flavours. So just keep them moving around. Again, this recipe is just all about putting things in the pan, really. It's not too hard. This takes about 40 minutes to cook. And what we'll probably do is turn this off towards the end of cooking and just slightly warm it back up so we can tie it in with the bean time. Right, you in there, Ronnie? You got them onions going, your chili and your garlic in the pan?
Yeah.
Good man. Don't burn them though. This pan doesn't have to be as deep. This is going to be like, if anybody's ever had pulled pork, this is kind of what we're doing. It's going to kind of be like a pulled Mexican chicken. And I've only ever made this once. I made this the other day just to try it out. It was amazing. The cocoa powder in it just does something else to it. Right, so as you can see, I'm just keep stirring that around. I don't want it to burn or nothing.
He's already on a margarita.
Yeah, is she? Good
Yeah,
girl, B. Good girl.
She said, think it's...
Right, whilst we're doing this, all these bystanders, you want to start sending in shot words. We'll start the shot words once we get this guy on going.
Tan said she hasn't had margarita in years.
I don't know what is a margarita. I don't actually know. What's a margarita, Ronnie?
Tequila.
Tequila.
I think it's tequila.
She wants to make a...
More of a daiquiri kind of guy.
Vicky Lou said leftover limes can be boiled up later in water with sugar and ginger and used for a homemade cordial.
Yeah, can do that. Also, if you get your limes and they go a bit, when you get to that stage, I've got one there that's a little bit, and it's starting to go hard. If they go hard, pop them in the microwave for 20 seconds. That makes the juice come out of them as well.
Okay, B said margarita is tequila, triple sec, and lime juice.
Okay, so an orangey. Right, my onions there are looking good. I can smell that garlic and chili. Go and grab your chicken thighs, chuck them in the pan now. Do nothing to them, just chuck them in. One thing I did forget to tell everybody is I'm doing the recipe for like 4 people, which is the one that I popped up. Some of you might be halving it, so obviously you have to kind of remember that because I'm shouting ingredients out for the 4. So if you're doing a half, do remember to cut it back. Otherwise you might have slightly wrong ingredients. Right, so now I have my chicken thighs in there. They're mixing in that mix. I'm just going to seal them over.
Mary said you can smell it through 2 doors.
I bet you can. I bet you can, Mary. It'll be good. You'll enjoy this one. Are you having hot Mexican or does Josie make it mild? Any questions from the new people? Anybody that's falling behind? Shout out. Self-help, shit sorters. Again, the chicken thighs is because they have a slightly more fat on them and it just stops them drying out in this. If you've got chicken breast, not a problem. But chicken breasts always have a habit of drying out first. Literally smell it. Give your beans a stir, everybody. Give your beans a stir, Ronnie.
Oh.
That thickens up quite quick, doesn't it, the beans?
Do what, mate?
The beans thicken up quite quick.
Oh, mine haven't.
Is it because
Right.
it's not electric?
Yeah, so perhaps you need to turn yours down a fraction.
Turn it down, yeah, cool.
Yeah. So if anybody else's beans are thickening up a little bit too quick, you can either add a bit more beer to it or a bit more water. But you just want to keep it. You want to keep it liquidy. I mean, if I show everybody mine,
Can you put a bit of water in it, yeah?
there's my beans there. So I've got quite still quite watery.
Okay,
So
Davis has just said Sarah got a phone call and is behind. What is in the pan at the moment?
James Davis. Okay, right. In the pan at the moment is a chicken mole. So into that we popped the chopped onions, chopped garlic, chopped chilies, fried it off in some oil, and then we've just popped in chicken thighs.
That's 10 dollars.
Right, so what we're looking to do is basically seal both sides of the chicken. If I show you mine, I can. There we go. So you can see my chicken starting. I've sealed one side of it, and with that. Is that what yours is looking like there, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Good man. Right, so now into this, we're going to start adding a few more of the spices now. So we should have. You know, I've done these like little worksheets up, and I've got them all wrote out wrong. Right, so we want two teaspoons of cumin into there. Two teaspoons of cumin, so that's one, that's two. 2 teaspoons of cumin, Ronald.
Charlie said he was Ronnie using drumsticks.
Then 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. This is going to give us our smoky flavour in there. So 2 teaspoons of that. I won't worry too much about stirring at the moment because you're going to pop in a load of other stuff in there. So now into that, so into our chicken mix, I've added 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. Now we want to chuck in our tomatoes into that, which was 400 grams of chopped tomatoes. Oh, what's your...
I mixed all my spices and cocoa. Is that bad?
No, that's fine.
Sally choice.
And if you've mixed all your cocoa and everything, just put it all in one go. I mean, we're not like cordon bleu chefs here or whatever, Michelin star guys. All goes in there. Right, so 400 of tomatoes. Right, so I had a big tin, 800. So there you go, that's about half the
How are you,
tin.
little Helen Johnson?
Not a problem. Right, so we should be stirring in 400 of or a big tin of tomatoes. Give that a little mix around. The reason I didn't put the cocoa in with the herbs is I didn't want the cocoa to burn. So I was going to add it in once I had the tomatoes in. So now into the tomato, after the tomatoes, if you've not put the cocoa in, add your 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder. One, 2 of them. 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder, Ronnie, into your tomatoes.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, everybody should notice that the start turned dark. You're getting this nice, rich. See, look at mine already. It's just turning darker and darker, and it gets darker and darker as we go along. Right, so peanuts and raisins, they can go in there now. We have like 50 grams of each. If you don't like them, leave them out. If you've got nut allergies, don't put them in. But moulet apparently just is it's chocolate, fruit, and chilies. That's kind of what the essence of their like sauce is, and it's the basis of a lot of things in Mexico apparently.
Luke said that it's just got weird with the cocoa.
Yeah, it's gone dark. Yeah, should go dark, Luby. I mean, mine's nice. I've got like a nice rich, dark thing. Dark. Right, again, we want another squeeze of a lime in there. So what we just did before.
Annie Joyce said it looks incredible already.
So juice of a lime, fork and roll it and squeeze it in there.
Everyone's saying it's looking lovely.
I mean, it's almost, you know, basically we just let this cook out for about 40 minutes now. And then when it's cooked, we get a couple of forks and we just go like that. And you end up with this like pulled chicken. Right, I'm just going to quickly recap everything that we've done here. Oh, coriander, forgot me coriander. So after the peanuts, raisins, you should have had juice of a lime, and then we want another pinch of our coriander, which now I've left it out, it's frozen, it's stuck to my hands. All right, give a little bit of salt and pepper in there, just for good measure. Again, we'll like retest all this later once we get to the end. And I've just noticed one ingredient I missed out. Maple syrup or honey, which was...
Simon Murray had question marks on the maple.
Yeah, maple, there you go, maple syrup. 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. I'm just going to pour that in there, use all that up. You could pop a little bit of brown sugar in if you didn't have that. You could pop in honey. I mean, worst case, you ain't got any of them, just put a couple of teaspoons of ordinary sugar in. But what you want is the flavour of the maple or the deep sort of chocolate, deep sugary flavours.
Josie said honey roast peanuts.
If you want to put honey roast peanuts in, Josie, go for it.
And she said how much raisins?
50 grams. Just a few, just a sprinkling, not a lot, just to add the fruity part to it.
James Hunt said he's never cooked longer on a live feed before, and this is brilliant.
Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it, my man. Right, yeah, it is a bit of fun. Now we're going to start the shot words in a second, so it's just going to go chaos now. So I'd hold that judgment, especially when I start my shots. Right, I'm quickly going to recap the whole chicken mole recipe because I've got everything in there now. So I'm going to go top to bottom. Should have put some olive oil in there. We should have fried off 1 diced onion. We should have put 4 cloves of garlic in there and your chilies. Then we sauteed that off. Then we whacked in our boneless thighs. Just sauteed them off again. Into that, then we added 2 teaspoons of cumin. Should put up here so you can see me. We added 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder. That all went straight into the pan. We then chucked in a whole tin of 400 grams of chopped tomatoes. That went in. Salt and pepper, your maple syrup, or honey if you had that, or brown sugar if you had that. The juice of a lime, some chopped coriander, some peanuts, and some raisins. So that is our chicken mole mix. Later on in the day, we will taste it when we think it's cooked. You might need to add a little bit more salt and pepper. We might need to add some more coriander because the coriander at the end does add a lot of flavour to it, or a good squeeze of lime. And you'll be amazed at how much lime lifts stuff. Put lime in a curry, in a normal curry. Amazing.
Not going to be any offcuts to this, is there?
No offcuts, Josie.
No, it's Mary.
Oh, Mary. No, you got no offcuts, Mary. So now I'll show you mine. That's what we should be looking like. There we go. You want to see that, Ronnie? Is that what we're looking like? A nice sort of deep, sort of ready. So look, that's looking good. Right, I reckon you need to turn your heat down a little bit on there, Ronnie.
Right, cool.
And then just simmer it away. Everybody turn the heat down. We just want to simmer it away. Now, if it starts to dry out a bit, we're not looking for a massive curry sauce. We're not looking for loads of meat and a massive amount of sauce. We actually want it to dry out, but we want to retain some of the sort of sauce. So if it's looking a bit dry, just add a little bit of water, but don't overdo it. Just add a little bit at a time. You could pop a bit of the beer in if you wanted, if you don't want to drink it, but a little bit of water just to bring it back and keep it. You're looking for like a thick stew. That's what we're looking for. So if you look at it, if I show you mine, yeah, everybody can see I've got like a very sort of thick stew. And then we just want to turn that down and we want to leave that for about 40 minutes and let that cook. Right, my beans are reducing down now. So I'm going to turn the heat right down on them because I'm starting to lose a fair bit of liquid there. So I'm just going to pop them on a simmer. Right, so hopefully everybody should have Drunken Beans going and we should have chicken mole going. And then we can turn off, add on, we can make all these come together at the same time so that we're not serving up at different times. Right then, so I'm kind of there. Hopefully you guys are. Perhaps we can get some short words in now and then perhaps we should have a tequila. I've got
okay, Mark James said Mexican.
Mexican's the short word. Okay. Right, yeah, we'll have a Mexican.
Anyone else?
I need another 2 short words. Stir.
Darren said, is it margarita time?
Yes. So, yeah, you've been drinking margaritas all day.
No, I think it's me. I think
B.
Darren's cooking.
Right, this little thing here.
Beans. So beans and Mexican.
Right, so I've got to apologise to everybody. When I was popping the recipe up, we had all these different chilies that are supposed to go in, like the chicken mole and stuff. And I didn't realise I actually had some here. And they're dried. They're very expensive, but that was one of the chilies that go in there. Look at them. They're proper black. Where are we? So they're proper black. And they're dehydrated. So you pop them in hot water, which I've done, to bring them back, and you end up with that. So I'm going to chop that up and put that into I'm going to put it into both of my dishes. But apparently that's a sweet smoked chili, and they're supposed to be really good. But they were from Marks and Spencer's, and they were £2 each. So they're pretty pricey. But I forgot I had them. So I was telling everybody to look for chilies. So let's just give out a little chop that.
Okay, so short words, we've got beans, Mexican and lime. So careful what you're saying.
Beans, Mexican and lime.
Yeah. Your mum's just said, hi Gary, hi Ronnie.
Mum says hi Ronnie. Right, so I've chopped them up and they're like little, like leafy, that's the camera, like little leafy type things. They smell like raisins. They've got like a fruity smell to them. Ooh, you got like a real deep sort of fruity smell.
Though.
Yeah, so they're going in mine, and I'm really sorry that I didn't realise I had them, and I could have told everybody where to go and get them. But if you come across them and you do fancy cooking with them,
yeah, can make it again.
Give them a whirl. So I'm popping some in that one, and I'm going to pop some in the beans as well.
Shot.
Okay, where's the shot then? We have special tequila for the shots. I keep going to, because everything I've done, Ronnie, before, my camera's like down there, but this one's at the top. It's weird. It's like changed. The camera's only going to be in one spot, isn't it?
So you're going to have it in your shot glasses? Or you're going to have it in
yeah. Right. I have these fantastic shot glasses that my daughter brought me for my birthday.
Right, don't knock that.
Little Himalayan salt. So they're like the shot glasses. You don't need to put the salt. You just put it in there, have that with a lime. So I'm going to start partaking in them. So I apologise now if things go haywire. This was about 35 quid, this bottle. So we got a decent one. Obviously, I'm not going to shot loads because I need to still finish it. Right, everybody's. There we go. Let's have a taste. Right. So, what did I say?
You said beans.
So, shot words, everyone. Wow, that's really nice.
So did you put anything else in the mix? Because Simon Hargate was getting shot glasses out and missed what you were doing.
Anything else in the mix, Simon Hargate? Right. Do you want me to go through?
Ask him if he's okay now or not.
Are you all right, Simon? Do you need me to go through it again? Oh, that's really nice.
Shelley said this isn't going to end well.
Nah. That's why I had to get
Is
this
she
bit
cooking,
done
though?
first.
I'm trying to find out who's cooking. James says cheers. Oh, last ingredients Simon needs.
The last ingredients, right, Simon, especially for you. Tin of tomatoes went into the pan. If I pull that down, you can see it. Tin of tomatoes went into the pan. Then we whacked in the two tablespoons of maple syrup or honey or sugar, whatever you was using. The cocoa, if you hadn't put it in before, you pop that in now. Juice of a lime, peanuts, raisins, and coriander. And then we just let that boil away like that. Just simmering away. You don't want it like boiling furiously. You just want it ticking over. A bit like the beans. Right, so I'm noticing...
Do you think you've done that deliberately?
I don't know. Shot. Oh.
Mark said, are there any beans in the Mexican mix?
Ooh. Right. So my beans are starting to dry out a little bit, so I definitely need a bit more liquid in there. So I think a little bit of water is going to go into mine because I'm not going to waste the beer. Do we have any beer left? No, we don't have any beer left.
Okay,
so I'm going to pop a little bit of water into that.
Oh, Simon said, got that. What was the special ingredient after?
Ah, the special ingredient after. Right, Simon, give me 2 seconds and I will show you.
Sorry.
So I just popped a little bit of more liquid in my beans.
Sharp. Who suggested beans?
Oh.
I know, I'm terrible.
Yeah, me. Right, this is just for Simon. Little recap. I found these dried Ancho chilies. They were £4 for a pack of 2 in Marks and Spencer's, but they're like dried black chilies. You pop them in hot water, rehydrate them, and then chop them up and put them in. They had like a smoky fruity chili flavour into it, and I popped some in each of them. But they're the original, you know, the stuff that we should actually be using in it, but we don't have many of them in this country.
Ooh.
Right, so I've got moulet literally just ticking over there. I've got beans.
Sharp.
Beans there, just
again.
just ticking over again. I popped a little bit of stuff in them.
I'll count them up for you, Gary. Shane has just said tequila makes him happy.
Can I just with my shots, Gary?
Do what?
No, just sip it.
Just sit there, is there? Right. I'm new to this game, so I've done about 4 shots on the head because you keep saying beans.
Oh, no.
Right, just do a sipper shot. Make a shot last for 4 goes.
Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll just be down on the deck, and then everybody wonder where Ronnie's gone.
Simon Murray said, does he put the banana in yet?
Bananas, not yet, Simon. This is where Ron's going, like, bananas? What bananas? Simon comes on every time and just asks where the bananas are.
Excellent.
It's a standard joke. Right then, everybody, now flip your ovens on. You want them on about 190. We're only going to be baking for 10 minutes. So it's not like...
Toy said she's made James have a shot. Is that her son?
I can't condone that. Right, so we're going to do the salad bowls next. So we need a little bit of tin foil. You want a square of tin foil, and you want to, what will help, if you've got a bowl, if you've got like a little bowl or something that you can push it in, that's kind of like a cereal bowl, and just pop the tin foil in like that.
Josie said, I've just got some grilled pineapple in the mould. Whoops, YOLO. I've just got some grilled pineapple in the YOLO. Oh, it's her husband, not her son. Toys. Oh, so she baking tonight?
Yeah.
I've got like 14 bacon at the moment.
Right, who baked fresh tortillas? I didn't.
I didn't. Sorry.
I did yesterday. I made them yesterday. They were very nice, but I just had too much on today to make another batch. I ate the earlier ones. Right, so we should have tin foil like that into a thing, and then basically what we're trying to do is make a little salad bowl like this to serve our salads in. So how big are your tortillas? I got like extra big ones, I think. So
yours look about the same size as Ronnie's.
if it's too big, just cut a bit off. I'm just going to cut. I'm just going to cut a little bit off.
Does he need to cut any off his, Ronnie's? His looks about the same size as yours, isn't it?
How big? How much overlap is there when you put it in, Ronnie? I got one. Some people have medium, and they're a bit smaller.
Yeah, they're both inch. They're the Tesco ones.
Right. If I show everybody one, so I've cut mine down a fraction, and I'm basically just pushing that into the tin foil. Like that, and I'm making the cup. So you can see that it's obviously you don't want it overlapping everywhere. We're just trying to create a little bowl for the salad. And then when you've done that, you just take it out of the bowl, pop that in the oven for like sort of 5 minutes until it's crispy brown.
Okay, so got some offcuts there.
Oh yeah, I've got offcuts, Mary. So I'm going to do another one up.
Oh, Lily said you can turn the edges over.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, you can turn the edges over, Ronnie. Actually, a good idea, Luby. She's done this before. So I'm going to make another one because my daughter won't eat salad, so it's pointless making all them up. But if there's basically you want to make a bowl per person you're serving tonight. Let's try one with the edges so nobody has to cut it. Let's see what that looks like. The only thing with that, it's a little bit harder to get in.
Yeah, I think we're probably.
Yeah, it's a bit harder to get in, so you do need to.
We'll eat the offcuts.
You do need to just trim it a little bit. So, what's yours look like, Ronnie? Flip them up to the camera. Let everybody see.
Something like that. Is that cool?
Perfect.
That's
yeah.
Cool.
Take that out of the bowl and then just pop that in the oven.
So with the tin foil.
Yeah, leave it in the tin foil.
Got
and
it.
just put it in the oven. That's it. The tin foil is just going to hold it in place.
How far in the oven? Middle of the oven?
Middle of the oven. I mean, it's not too technical, this one. We're basically just trying to create a little cup to serve.
And how long in the oven for?
They take about 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes, until they crispy. See that? There you go again. I'm just popping that in like that. I'm just going to take the foil out. You're basically just looking for we're making bowls to serve the salad in, that's all. I mean, there's the one I done earlier. And then we're just going to pop all our salad in, put it on the plate. It just looks prettier. Plus, your kids might eat salad if it's a little bit different.
So Josie said you can do this with tacos.
Oh, yeah.
And the bottom of a muffin tray.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
That was the way I was going to do it. And I realised I didn't have a muffin tray, Josie. So I was going to like go that way, yeah. So all I had, I'll show you this to make you laugh. I have a Yorkshire pudding tin. But yeah, she's right. So you can get your tortilla and you can put it in that gap there. But obviously a muffin tin's deeper. And then you can just pop them down in between the gaps and then pop that in the oven. So that would work. But that was the original way of doing it. But then I screwed that up when I realised I left the muffin tins at work. So, and then obviously everybody won't have muffin tins. So tin foil seemed the easiest.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've got a muffin tray, take a muffin tray, turn it upside down, pop them in the gaps in the oven, 5 minutes till you get little crispy things. And then once they come out, just stick them on the side, forget about them for 10 minutes. Right, everybody give your beans a stir.
Shot.
Oh, jeez.
What's it for you two?
Yeah.
Is he shot at you? That's really nice to be like. Sick annoying.
You got it in shot glass? Oh.
Yeah, do you want?
Yeah, because that's melted
Yeah.
now. That's really nice, but it's too salty
Yeah,
now.
too salty.
Right, the salt's kicking into me now with this. Right, give your chicken a stir. Watch it don't catch on the bottom, everyone. We'll give it about 10 minutes and then we start tasting all this stuff and then we can correct seasonings. People can figure out what they want. If you want it hotter, you can add extra chilies and stuff in. So you're going to try a bit of the chili.
Luby Lou said, show how you do the shot again. She missed it. No.
Oh, wow, that chili is amazing. If anybody can get hold of them Ancho chilies, the dried ones. I mean, I've just ate some raw then, and it tastes like barbecue. Oh man, Ronnie, it's going to go amazing with your barbecues.
Yeah, the smoke
Yeah,
brisket.
it tastes like barbecue chili.
Oh wow!
You need to get some, and you need to make some sort of things up with that. Yeah, it's like fruity barbecue chili. It's really good.
I wonder if you put that in the, you know, like rather than putting the chips in, if you like cut them up and put them in the fire pit, so it kind of it wafts through all the smoke, all the flavour.
Okay. Yeah, that they might burn with that though. I'd probably go with them in like some sort of sauce.
Yeah.
You can be like, yeah, you can cook. If you made a barbecue sauce up with that, it'd be really good. Because you can cook on the side of your thing. I mean, I've got these pans here because I cook on my kadai, so like little steel pans, and you can literally pop them over the wood and make sauces and everything. And of course, you get all the woody flavors coming in as well. But yeah, for your smoking, you need to get some whiskey chips.
Is it?
Yeah, they're expensive. No, I think they're usable. They're not cheap, but you can get like bourbon whiskey chips where they have the barrels. They chip the barrels up and then sell them off about £10 a little. You get the smoky flavors and that. You just put a handful in, put them in water first, and so they're all like like moist. And then you put them in your smoke, and they generate all the smoke, but they give mental flavors.
Oh, incredible! Incredible.
It's tasting good. Mark's is tasting
Oh,
good.
people are tasting them already. That's good. Right, so let's have a little check of our little things. And that might need a little bit longer yet.
Does he need to turn his, Ronnie?
Yeah, Ronnie's just having a little check.
Yeah.
But I need to just create a little bit of space. Chuck stuff over out of the way, yeah.
So with the salad bowls, they need to be a bit crispy.
Sorry, mate.
With the salad bowls, they need to be a bit crispy, is it?
Yeah, because if I'll break this one, but if you listen,
yeah,
it's literally like a crisp. But you can eat these after, see?
Like the tequila.
Yeah. Right, so if everybody clears a bit of space now, because we're going to start on with the salady stuff now. I mean, I've got a small kitchen, so it's a bit harder for me. Right, feels a little bit quiet out there. Nobody's firing loads of questions over to me. Hopefully everybody's all okay. We should all have both our moules and our Broccos, Franchos, beans, Drunken Beans. They should all be going. Give them a check over. Make sure you've got enough liquid in them. Give them a little stir because you don't want nothing burning. Keep an eye on your tortilla cups. Mine are coming along. Right, so next stage, we're going to crack on with our little Mexican pickled onions.
Shot.
This will blow your mind. Everybody has pickled onions, but they're not. They're like totally different. So you want a red onion. Let me just peel mine back. I purposely didn't do this because I wanted to show people how to slice it up. Right, let's move people over here and they can see me from this angle then. Right, so we have one onion. You want to cut him straight in half. And you want to get, so not that way, we want to cut that way. So we're gonna cut across the onion so we get nice slices. But you want to cut them as thin as you can. So watch your fingers, everybody.
So Tam wants to know if either you or Ronnie have been to Mexico before.
Been to Mexico? No, we've been to Ibiza, Ronnie, haven't we?
We went to Ibiza, mate. Exactly.
I remember Ibiza. I remember you dancing around that pole. That was fun.
I think we were supposed to.
That was like
That was the after one, wasn't it?
yeah, was that after Zero Club or something?
Oh, I haven't got a clue. I remember Bowser was impressed.
Right, so now I've popped my onions into a bowl. And as you can see, they're nicely thinly sliced. And then into a bowl there. And then into the next magic ingredient, limes, which we're using lots of today. I shall have a shot in a second because my eyes are starting to cry now.
Someone's just said, Ronnie, mind your fingers.
Right, my tortillas are about 2 minutes away, so everybody else make sure you keep an eye on them. Right, have you got that onion sliced up there, Ronnie? Yeah, Ronnie's going with that.
Yeah.
So Mark James said, careful, Ronnie, we don't need another rock band with one arm.
They did all right though, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Right, so I'm sliced that onion up, and then I'm going to put 2 lime juices in there.
Sharp.
And then we just leave this aside, and the acid of the limes literally just pickle into that, and they are mental when you just pop them on top of our. They're just so tasty when you put them on there. You just give them a little stir around and leave them to the side.
Right, what was that again, Gary? Sorry, the shot kind of took me back then.
So you got your sliced onions, you got them into a bowl there, magic. Now take 2 limes and then do the usual that we do, the roll it and the fork it.
Cool.
And just literally put them into there and then just leave it aside and just let that lime juice will just soak up into the. Yeah. These shots are taking the toll now.
Ronnie's literally doing them.
See, Ronnie, you can see why I said we have to leave it until we've done the main bulk of stuff.
Well, I wish I would have known that about 8 shots ago.
Right, tortillas. Mine's done. Yours done, Ronnie?
Oh, yeah.
That's it. You're in the kitchen now. You've got to move. You've got to do loads of different things. This isn't no easy lark of being in a band.
Oh, they look like it. Yeah.
As you can see, there we go. I've got a couple of little sort of cups that I can have for my salads. Yeah, does that feel like it's going to hold up? Yeah, that looks good. So you just pop them on the side now. Forget about them. Just chuck them over there somewhere. And they go cold and they go rigid like that. Then we're just going to plonk all our salad in it. It's just a much better way, prettier way to serve it up in. Nothing worse than just having a lump of salad on the side of the plate. At least make it a bit exciting. So mine's done. Oven off. Don't need that anymore. Right, where are we to now?
Limes and onions, yeah?
Mark cremated is. Mark James.
Mark James cremated. You had them too hot, Mark, so you need to start again.
You can put another couple in, can't
Yeah,
you?
you need to save, as long as you've got enough tortillas to put your mole in, you can do another couple. If not, you just have to have it on the side of the table, that's all, on your plate. Yeah, so Ronnie, that's it. Yeah, double them, give them limes a roll and then a squeeze. And then I've just got the lime juices in there. You can just see it sitting in there. We leave that for about 30 minutes, and that just it takes the oniony taste out, but gives it a really wicked taste. And that is going to be sprinkled across the top of our tortillas with the chicken mole in, and it tastes amazing. And that is so simple. You'll be doing that all the time now. Anybody who's watching this, they'll be doing this for any sort of Mexican dish or whatever. Oh, can I have the last of that?
Mark Wallington is actually doing leffe and tequila because he can't cope with too many shot words.
Yeah, I'm doing. That's why I just done Mark leffe and tequila. Right, next down the list. So everybody should have their basket bowls out. You getting the eyes, Ronnie? You getting the eyes here?
No, I'm getting the tequila.
I'm terrible with eyes. As soon as I cut an onion, I cut celery in my eyes. Christ, ridiculous.
Okay, Josie said her mole is getting dry. Take it off or add beer.
You could pop a bit of beer in. Beer is not going to harm it at all. Chuck a bit of beer in, but just keep it. If I show you mine, Josie, mine's still quite. You probably got it turned up a bit high, so you just want to keep it. But it's like a thick curry. That's what I've got there. So it's not a runny sauce. It's a sort of a thick, gloopy. That's what you're looking for.
Can you shout hi to Heidi? She's just tuned in.
Hi to Heidi. Heidi, hi. So if you're dry in that, pop a little bit. You can put water in. You can put beer in. You can put a bit of tequila in if you want. And then just keep it ticking along like that. And it's the same with the beans. See, the beans are there. I've got, you're looking for I've almost got like a baked bean consistency now. Again, I think I need a little bit more liquid in them. So I'm going to pop a bit more into my beans. But everybody should be having the right consistencies turning up now.
Yeah, Mark has said chuck the tequila in, don't waste the beer.
Yeah, the beer's too good to put back in now. I was drinking the beer in there, yeah. Right, so I've a bit more liquid in my beans.
Sure.
Ronnie's like proper hardcore. He's totally keeping. He's gone off shot now. He's not doing it.
No, don't encourage him.
No, it's in there. It's in there.
You should do my secret, Ronnie. I'll give my secret away. When I get a little bit too drunk, I start doing water. I just go off shot, get a little bit of water, come back. Otherwise, I just don't make it to the end.
Josie said, when are we doing pina colada?
At the end. Is it pina colada? I don't even know what it's called.
Isn't it?
No, it's not margarita. It's some fancy cocktail.
Okay.
Right, anyway, so we should all have liquid in our pots. We should have them things should be out of the oven, and we should have our pickled onions. So that means the next thing is our salad. Right, so let's go over to here. Let's pop this down here. Right, so the salad is basically whatever you want it to be. For me, we were having the sweet corn, where's my sweet corn? My sweet corn's there. And the reason I said if you can get hold of these, they're just so much better. Because I think because they're like cooked and then they're left in these packets, they like not ferment. Ferment's the wrong word, but they carry on getting sweeter and sweeter, and they just taste so much better. They taste better than fresh ones. Right. So what we do is you pop it on there. Get yourself a nice knife. Where's Ronnie? I'll wait for Ronnie to come back.
Someone says another bottle of tequila.
He's gone for more tequila. Right. So sweet corn. This is what's used in a lot of Mexican stuff. They absolutely love their corn over there. So I'll show you this one, what we're doing here. So we take the big thing, turn it upside down, get a knife, and basically just chop down. But you don't want to go too far into the middle, because that middle bit's, imagine when we eat it, we always leave that bit, yeah?
Someone's go careful with that knife.
So literally just work your way around so you're leaving that middle bit in there. Don't do the whole lot. Do the bottom half first, Ronnie.
Everyone's saying, please be careful, Ronnie.
Do the bottom half first. Like that. Start from halfway down and keep your knife out of the way. That's it. As long as your fingers are out of the way, you're never going to cut yourself. So you go all the way down, and then what you do then is turn it over and then do the other half. And then we end up, we've got like that horrible middle bit that nobody ever eats is left. Yep, there you go. And then just chuck that into a bowl. We're going to have a little bowl here. We're going to make a salad up. So you just sort of break it up a little bit so you're not got like massive bits. So if you've got a lot of you, you're going to use both corns. There's only me and the wife is going to eat salad, so I'm only going to do the one. Yeah, but she won't eat sweet corn.
Just put that in the bowl now, yeah?
Yeah, chuck that in the mixing bowl. Which is that. Right, so another thing that's very, very popular. I can't remember the name of it now. I've had a few too many tequilas. I do remember the name. But they eat a lot of these. What they do is they pop them in some tin foil like that. And they put on paprika, chili powder, a bit of butter, some cheese, which is called Slanky cheese or something. But it's basically feta cheese. And then they just bake them in the oven. And they look mental. I was going to do them tonight, but it was just too much to sort of put in for everybody. So you could do that if you fancy that. Go and check it out. Anyway, back to our salad, Ronnie. So sweet corn in a bowl, you just got like bits in there, yeah? Just break it up a little bit with your fingers.
Yeah.
Just so it's a bit sort of smaller. Then into that, you want to pop the juice of a lime.
Shot. But not for Ronnie.
Yeah, only me. Only me has a shot. Where am I? Hey.
Oh,
So juice of that, Ronnie, yeah.
the green one.
Oh.
Besides, I've got too small a kitchen now to do these things. Right, so again, I'm juicing my lime up in there. No, I did juicing the green thing up in there. Give that a little stir with a fork. Again, just a little bit of chili. You don't want too much chili in this because we don't really want proper spicy salad. But just a little bit of chili in there just to give it that little extra kick. Mix that up again. I've got a bit of my corianders going in there. If you don't like the coriander, leave it out because you will taste it this time because it's in the salad. I mean, if you had it when it's in the actual cooked dishes, it gives off a different flavour. But if you don't like coriander, leave it out of this part. Right. See, now I get to this point now where I'm slightly a little bit tipsy and I'm forgetting the ingredients that go in it. And I need to put my glasses on. Right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
This is where it gets tricky now. This is where it gets hard. Right. Oh, a red onion. We forgot the red onion. So, again, you want to dice up. Did you have some diced red onion left, Ronnie, or not?
I did, but I just threw it in the bin because I thought I cut them wrong.
That's all right. Everybody else, if you've got a bit of onion, you should have half an onion left. I'm just going to chop a little bit up into the salad. We're basically making a Mexican salsa, but with sweet corn, and it's going to be popped into them bowls that we just made. And we're going to put some feta cheese on the top. Right, so that's mixing up in there. And then we should have a green pepper. There's a tomato in there. Could you grab that for me? Half a tomato we had left in the burger.
James Dates just said Ronnie's a legend. He's on the floor by now.
I'm feeling a little bit hot. You feeling a little bit hot there, Ronnie?
I'm definitely warm.
Yeah.
Definitely warm. I feel like I'm in Mexico right now.
Right, so I'm dicing a little bit of pepper in there. Again, this salad's pretty much whatever you want to do. If you don't like onions, don't put it in. Put extra, but you just want to get the corn in there, a little bit of chili, and I've got a couple of bits of diced tomato. I like beef eater tomatoes because they have a sweeter taste. So I've got some beef eater tomatoes in there. I'm just mixing everything up in there. So in there, Ronnie, I've got my diced pepper. I just popped a bit of that in. I've got the sweet corn. I've got the onion, which you haven't got. I got the lime.
No, I got the onion now. I got the onion.
Oh, you got an onion, yeah? Good man.
Yeah.
It does, the red onion does make it.
That's a cool bowl that he's got there, that triangle one.
We're liking your bowl, Ronnie.
Not bad. That's
Nice little triangle. Right, so, and then we want some salt and pepper into that. Not too much, just a little bit.
Mark James says his mole is nice and thick now. It tastes amazing.
Good. Right, how long? What's the time, love?
It is 7:20.
So the moles are probably getting to be cooked. No, mine's still all right. They still cook out. The beans are getting there. I reckon we're in for 7:45, everybody.
what happened with the tomatoes? Sorry, mate.
I just diced them up. Just
Wait.
keep the seeds in. Don't worry about messing around with all that. Just put them in whatever size you want. I prefer chunky. A lot of people like them smaller, but I just like you're just doing a rough chunking it up type of thing.
Love it.
So red onion here, lime pepper, coriander, and salt, pepper, and then we want a little bit of lettuce. And then we add a little bit of lettuce. I did say gem lettuce because that's what they use a lot of. Again, I couldn't find gem lettuce, so I just got a little bit of iceberg. And then just dice a bit of that up. Like so, and that goes in there. And we should have a little bit of olive oil knocking around. You just shove a little bit of olive oil in there. Well, we took it out. Right, let's pop you back up here, everybody. Right, so we should have a nice bowl of salad in there. Like, again, this can just be whatever you want it to be. If you want it more spicier, chuck in a few more chilies. If you want it more limier, chuck another lime in it. And I add the lettuce in there. Yep, you're tossing that around. You're tossing that well.
Good, man.
And then I got the feta cheese.
Good
Just to add that saltiness to our dish. Because feta cheese is the dogs. I'm literally just going to break the feta cheese into that salad there.
Oh, that looks really good. The colours are really nice,
Yeah.
aren't they?
I mean, I use about half a packet there. Use whatever you want. Don't overdo it. And then just mix that around again. And then in a second, that's going to just be popped into our salad bowls that we've done. But what a great way to serve a salad. So you got corns, chilies, limes, coriander. You got the saltiness of the cheese. The Mexicans use a cheese, cilantro, I think it is. Someone will come up and tell me what it is. Anybody know? Anybody can tell me? I think it's CIL, cilantro. And we had it. We went to Amsterdam and we found this Indonesian. What restaurant was it? Ethiopian. We had an Ethiopian meal. It was like the best meal I'd ever had in my life. It was amazing. But you had like 10 curries in it. But you were served up. You weren't allowed to have a fork. So you had to eat it by hand. And they give you these like pancakes, massive black pancakes. You tore them off and you just scooped it up. It come out on a bowl about that big. And they put it on the table. Yeah, it was
Curry.
mental. And they had this like cheese on there, and they put cheese on the curry, and that's that cheese. But feta is as close as we can get to it.
Tancoon's going to give that salad a go next week. She said it looks amazing.
Good one, Tan. Good one, Tan. Right. So we should have a salad done, which is there. We should have our salad bowls done, yeah? And they should be cooling down now. If people feel them, they'd be pretty cool. We've got our chicken moles there. That's cooking away. I've got my beans there. Has everybody kept stirring their beans? You need to add a bit more liquid. Then we've got our pickled onions. They're there.
Okay, Claire Kidd said cilantro, whatever it is another name for coriander.
All right, I'm getting confused then. There's another word for C. Look up someone, whoever's not drinking or not baking, look it up. Mexican salted cheese, which is like feta. Find out. It's bugging me now. I need to know what it is. I did have this all written down, but tequilas have taken over now.
Can you tell everyone they've got about 5 shot words because you've said lime and Mexican?
Ah,
so
5 shot
times.
words. I've said green things and whatever so many times. I'm obviously not going to have a whole shot. I'm just going to have a couple at a time.
Avocado, no.
Oh, we got to do avocado next, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing over there now, Gary? Is it just a sip or is it a
Just a sip,
Ronnie.
just a sip.
Just a sip for you.
You're hardcore in it.
I know.
We like Ronnie. We like Ronnie on here. He does the shots.
Yeah.
Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Last thing we need to do is our
Avocado?
guacamole.
I love guacamole.
Right, so you should have a bit of chili left, everybody. So get yourself a little mixing bowl. I can see Ronnie's got a perfect bowl there for it.
Oh, I've got the name of it.
Oh, here comes the name of the cheese.
So it's C-O-T-I-J-A. So cotija.
Cotija, C-O-T-I-J-A, Cotija
That's
cheese.
from Chris Saunders.
Chris Saunders, thank you, Chris.
Oh, and Debbie Adams has just said it is cotija.
And it's basically Mexican feta cheese. I think feta cheese is made with goat's milk. I think their one's made with cows. I think that was the difference. Right, so we've got guacamole now. You see all that pasty green stuff in the shops that you buy, load of rubbish. Well, I'll let Ronnie clear down first, and then we'll get on and do that. I can see him like clearing away.
There you go.
Right, your bowl, Ronnie.
Yeah.
And then you want your chilies. Do you have a couple of chopped chilies?
Oh,
You got to chop them, have you? Yeah, chop a chili in there. How hot do you want your guacamole?
Pardon?
How hot do you want your guacamole?
Not too much because the missus is going to eat there.
Okay, just put about half a chili in then.
Half a chili.
Yeah. So your chili in a bowl, a little bit of coriander.
You literally just crumbled the feta over the salad for Josie.
Yeah, Josie just crumbled the feta into the salad and mixed it in there. And then that's going to go in the bowls in a second. The magic ingredient we're using a lot of today that I'm not going to mention again because I'm getting quite drunk.
Oh. Can I just say this? Debbie Adams has just said Cotty Jazzy or whatever it is. It's Hispanic style cheese named after a town in Cotija, whatever
Yeah,
it is.
it would be Spanish
In a
because
Mexican state.
they're all owned by them, weren't they, when we all conquered the world.
This hard crumbly Mexican cheese is made mainly from cow's milk.
There you go.
And
So
when
it's
the
cow's
cheese
milk.
is made, it's white, fresh, and salty, thus bearing immense resemblance to feta cheese.
There you go.
Debs.
Thank you, Debs. Right, so whatever amount of chili you want in a bowl, a bit of coriander in there, just a bit of pinch of fresh coriander,
Cool.
juice of a lime.
Ah!
I'm not going to show it.
No, he's learning. He's doing that lime like. Yeah, that.
Said it again.
Oh, good.
Right, so I've squeezed a whole green thing in the bowl with the chilies and the coriander. So I've got like a little sort of juicy bit down there if anybody can see that. And then this is where it gets fun. Where's my avocados? So your 2 avocados, right, they do need to be ripe for this. If they're not ripe, this part won't work for you. You'll have to like cut them up and dice it out. But literally, all you need to do, it's messy, but we've got clean hands. I'm going to, just for purpose, I'm going to give my hands a wash.
Everyone's saying that it's a hardcore crow.
Everybody thinks you're a hardcore crow with all these shots, Ronnie. That's really a like trick saying it. Hardcore crow. Say that 5 times fast.
It's training. It is. Jesus Christ. Every night we're on Zoom pretty much, or we have been in lockdown. So this is fun.
Literally slice the avocado a little bit, and then I'm just going to squeeze it out. Just pop it out. You see that?
Hopefully there's a
right, so I'm just going to cut down there, squeeze it, and I'm going to take that out, and then I'm just going to squeeze out there, and then you end up with that we don't want. Put that down so you can see, and then I just squeeze in there, and I get left with the skin.
Okay.
So you don't have to mess around with all this trying to chop it up. I've cut it, take the pips out, but it only works when they're ripe, and then literally just squeeze that out. This is the fun part. This is messy. This is kids cooking. That's in. I've literally just squeezed all that off, and I've got rid of all that horrible skin, and then all my flesh is just in there. So all these people that fanny around trying to cut it and scoop it out, it's just a waste of time.
But Dave said underripe avocado is the worst.
Yeah, if you got an underripe avocado, you're screwed. Does anybody know whether they got underripe?
Do they know how to test it? You've done the test thing because Joe didn't know that, did he?
Thumb test it. If you got an avocado, you literally just take your avocado, press your thumb, and if you can press your thumb down on it, you know you got a ripe one. Yeah. You get a little indentation. Shouldn't be doing it in COVID times in the supermarkets, really. But you're going around and you're like thumbing avocados. But as you can see, I've got all my flesh in there. I take a fork and I literally just mash it up. So you just turn that, so it's like mashed potato but mashed avocado.
Say hi to Ruth Ross.
Oh, hello Ruth Ross, how are you doing? I've heard from you and gone from a while. You all right? And I'll have a little bit of salt and pepper in there, not too much, just a bit, because we've got chili lime. How's everybody coping? Right, so now's a good time. When you've just mashed this up a little bit, is have a little taste. If it's not hot enough, chuck some more chili in. But you kind of want it mashed up. And that is guacamole, and it is amazing fresh. If you don't like chili, so your wife don't like chilies, Ronnie, no?
Kind of. She's getting accustomed to it, but not like an over.
Okay. Right, so what you need to do for her, if she wants guacamole, leave the chili out. Just double up the lime juice. I have lime juice and avocado and pepper. It's amazing.
Sure.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
French.
Yeah.
Whoa.
48 said Ronnie's looks hard.
Yeah. Why are you working so hard and yours is amazing?
You had one right one. See, what you should be ending up with, if you look at mine, Ronnie, we get into a...
Yeah, but I think it's all in the mashing. You're mashing it pretty good with there.
You got a fork?
Yeah, I got a fork.
No, it's all to do with the ripeness. Nothing to do with me. This is just...
Toy said mine is hot. Can I cool it?
What's hot?
What's hot, Toy?
Oh, she's made it too hot with the chili.
Okay.
Now you're kind of screwed there unless you've got another avocado. Again, chilies like vary so much. I mean, I've got little...
Yeah, I put ghost chili.
I had little fiery chilies in there, but you don't need a lot of them. But you can have a massive chili, and that one can be 10 times as hot as a massive one. It is, and when you're buying supermarket ones, it's very hard.
On the packet, though, don't they?
Yeah.
They say mild or...
But if you've got another avocado, Toya, chuck another avocado in and put a bit more lime juice in.
Sure.
So you, Jesus. So you're basically building it up, if that makes sense. You're diluting the flavour. And I've been reliably told by Helen Grossman that this actually freezes down really well. So if anybody doesn't use a guacamole, because it only lasts about a day before it goes brown, apparently you can pop it in the freezer and take it out. So there's another tip for you, courtesy of Helen Grossman.
Yay, go Helen.
Right, so there's my guacamole. Need a little bowl to serve it in, love. Could you find me like, I've got one bowl there like that.
Have you got the white one?
No.
Oh, no one.
Yeah, just one little bowl just to pop that in so that I can pop it all on a plate and show everybody. Magic. Right, so I'm just going to tip my guacamole into the bowl.
What's Ronnie doing? Is he rolling or not? That's what I'm doing.
Right, there we go. So there's my guacamole. So that's in a little bowl there, ready to be served up, along with my pickled onions, along with my salad. My salad bowls are over that way, and I have 2 main courses cooking. So that should be our Mexican fiesta done.
Oh, thank you, Tommy. So much just for
So the next bit would be just to flip up these cocktails, which, to be fair, I don't really know whether these are going to work. I've never done this before. I'm just going to try it.
Cocktails now, are we?
Yeah,
Lovely
cocktails.
now.
I'm going to try now. I don't know how many people brought the cocktail-y stuff in, but the cocktails are coming now. And then we should get on and show them, everybody, that.
Oh, Charmaine Damon, she said, don't know about you, but my chicken tastes amazing. That's Paul Damon's wife, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should be trying it while it's still cooking.
Oh, yeah. I'm a huge believer in tasting everything as you go along. Because if you haven't quite got it right, you can get more flavourful. My beans are just drying out a bit, so I've just popped a bit more liquid into them.
That's Ronnie's. He looks like he's tasting it. How's it doing,
Everybody
Ronnie?
keep an eye on your beans.
That's incredible.
Is that good?
That's absolutely incredible.
See, you can do it.
Right, so my beans are going. I haven't even tasted anything. I need to have a taste, don't I?
Wow.
When everybody's got everything done, we will then do the cocktail and then we will serve this dinner up. So if you can all let me know when we're good to go to make the cocktail, it's a good point now to start tasting your dishes. Because if they need a bit more lime will pack a punch into it. If it's a little bit lacking flavour, chuck a lime in it.
Shot.
Oh. And I'll double dip. That's the beans. Oh, them beans are amazing. They're like spicy baked beans. Oh, they're stunning. Have you tried the baked beans yet, Ronnie?
Sorry, you said beans twice now, so that's 2 more shots.
I just did the shot glass.
Annie Joyce said, do we shred the chicken now?
If your chicken's cooked, I'm going to turn mine off because it's ready to do. Because if you give it a prod, it'll fall apart. I've turned my chicken off. I'm going to taste it now. I'd shred it literally at the last minute because you want to keep the heat in there. Once you shred it, it's going to go colder quicker. So if everybody doesn't shred it until you're about to serve it up, because it's a thicker joint, it'll keep the heat in there. But you can taste the sauce. If the sauce tastes wicked, you'll be good. I'm going to wash this.
Lily Lou, my mole is an eye, but I shut already.
Don't know.
Right.
Right, tasting the mole now. Oh, that's spicy. That's nice.
That's pretty good,
Oh.
though.
That is like tomato. Does everybody see about the chocolate? You kind of lose the chocolate flavour out of the. It's not there, but the cocoa brings in the chili and all the other stuff. It like pushes it all together and get them flavours in there.
Catherine Peterson said that Ronnie isn't going to remember any of this.
He can go back and watch it. Right, my beans are done, so I'm turning my beans off. The flavour on them is mental. They're done. I'm turning them off and I'm just leaving them. My chicken is done. I'm turning that off and I'm leaving that. If you look at the chicken there, I'll see if I can like just show you.
Mark James said he's eating half his molo for the shot.
He's eating it, is he? Right, so the chicken there, and if you just pull it, you'll notice it just literally pull apart. So that's cooked. You can see that's cooked. Get 2 forks, Ronnie, and just pull your thighs apart. I bet no one's ever said that to you, have they?
Yeah, I'll take some back.
But that is done. So I'm going to just leave them for 2 seconds. Now I know they're cooked. They're turned off. They taste amazing. Right, so if everybody taste your dishes, if it needs a bit more salt, a bit more pepper, lime is the way to go if you need a bit more punch in it.
Shot.
You can pop a bit of coriander in there. Right, so we're nearly there now. Now we just got to do the cocktail. Right, so can I have a thumbs up from everybody? Is everybody good? Do we have a chicken mole done that's seasoned and amazing? Do you have your baked beans done, your drunken beans? Are they all seasoned up and good? You can turn them off and leave them because they're going to hold the heat. Do we have our salad? Do we have our salad bowls to put it in? Do we have a guacamole? And do we have our amazing pickled onions?
Yeah, got loads of thumbs up coming up.
Just going to give me pickled onions a little turn over in the lime juice, and I'll just drop one on the floor. Right in the bin. Right, so if everybody's up to that stage, we're going to quickly do.
So they will all keep their heat then, will they?
Yeah, you can just leave them on the side because we're going to be eating in 5 minutes. We're literally going to be eating in 5 minutes, guys. So the next bit is the cocktail. So where's our cocktail glasses?
Just there. Do you want some ice?
Yeah. So you get yourselves a couple of nice little cocktail glasses.
That was from the daughter as well.
Yes, that was from my daughter. You're supposed to have jalapeno peppers in it, but I couldn't get any. So I've just got a thin slice of a pepper, or you don't want a lot in it. It's just a bit to add a bit of heat to the cocktail. So pop that in your glass. So I have a little bit of that in there. I'm going to pop some ice in there.
Okay, hang on a minute. How much tequila do we need for the cocktail? I haven't got much left.
What about a glass jug?
Are you doing a jug, yeah? Yeah. Oh, yeah, cool. So you need to put a couple of bits of chilli in there. So basically, I'm doing individuals, but you can do a jug.
Yeah.
Ruby Lou said, can she do a pint glass?
You can do a pint glass, but it's nothing to do with me. I put a disclaimer up here. I am not involved.
We're in it to it now.
Right. So next, you could pop your grill on now. Has everybody got a grill? I'm assuming we've all got a grill. And you should have a pineapple.
I'm glad Ronnie cut his up now. Bloody hell.
Right, so Ronnie's got his pineapple already cut up. Let me just pop the laptop there so you can see what I'm going to do. So you could have it already cut like Ronnie, so you want to cut a slice off. But what I would do is, because Ronnie jumped the gun, see? Ronnie was a naughty boy. He jumped the gun. So we just keep the skin on, and then what we want is about half an inch slice.
Right.
Like so. So you can keep the skin on because this is just a garnish for the cocktail.
Oh, right.
Now what you want to do is pop a little bit of brown sugar on that, just about 1/4 teaspoon. Just pop it on there and then just put it under the grill. And then you want to brown it. Basically, we want it to burn. So I'm going to grab, so I've got that there. And then what this is the garnish with the chili, with the tequila, and with the pineapple juice. And this just gives you the amazing cocktail. So I'm just going to pop a bit of dark brown sugar on there. You can use white sugar. Dark brown will give you a better taste. And then you just pop that under the grill, but you need to keep an eye on it. Don't forget to keep an eye on it.
So Toy said she bought sliced pineapple. Is that okay?
What, tinned?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get away with tinned. Just try and dab it off with a bit of kitchen paper, get the moisture out of it. Basically, I mean, to be fair, you don't need to worry about this. You can just drink the cocktail with pineapple, but it's supposed to add an extra smoky taste to it. So
if you're very, very clever, you might, right, have you got, so Ronnie, you've got the sugar on, so under the grill. But if you're very clever, you have a little, one of these machines.
Oh, look at that.
One of them.
Look at that.
That's when it works. And then I'm just going to caramelize mine up on here. There you go, that's smoking away. I think you better shut the door, love, as your fire alarm's going to go off. So basically, I'm caramelizing the sugar on there, and I'm going to turn it to a burnt taste. So you get the burnt taste of pineapple with the chili and the tequila, because the actual proper thing you should use for this is a mezcal or something. I can't remember. Again, I can't remember the name now. I'm too drunk. But it's a mezcal, and it's an expensive version of tequila, and it's more smokier. But we're adding the smokiness with this. Out of curiosity, has anybody got one of these?
No one's saying.
So I'm literally just you want char grilled pineapple. Has everybody got all their dishes turned off now? They should have.
If people are eating, can they actually send a picture in?
Yeah, send pictures in of your meals. If I get a really good one, I might send you a free t-shirt out.
Okay, so Annie Joyce has just said mezcal hipster.
Yeah, she knows what it is. Yep, that's it. Whatever that is, it's like a super duper. They make the cactus plant. They do it different.
Mezcal.
Yeah, they soak it.
Annie Joyce has a blowtorch.
Oh, there you go, Annie Joyce. Get your blowtorch out. Join the fun. Just be careful though. Nothing to do with me. You burn your house down. Don't come blaming me.
And Darren Edwards says, I've got one, but I'm not allowed anything sharp or hot.
Oh, B. Come on, B. Let him in there. There we go. So now I got a caramelized, I can't even say that. I got a caramelized, pineapple. And then what you're going to do then is just cut that into, say, quarters or 6, actually, because they've got to go in my glass. You could do bigger ones, Ronnie, because you're going to have them in.
I'm going to have them in a jug.
You're having them in a jug. Right, so let them cool down because they're still quite hot, but you want then that sugar will turn hard in a second. So just leave them on the side. And then basically what you're going to do, where's my glasses? There. Couldn't find my glasses. So I have ice. I have a chili in there, like a thin slice, not a lot, just a bit to give it a bit of heat. Then you're going to put a measure or 2 measures of tequila. Going to top it up with pineapple juice, and then you're going to pop in your caramelized pineapple, and it should give off this smoky, burnt taste. I haven't tried it yet. Don't know what it's going to be like. Hopefully, it sounds really good. Come on, let's be honest. Right, so whilst we're waiting for our pineapples to cook and cool down, right, so everybody keep an eye on your pineapples, because they will, with the brown sugar on, they will start to catch quite quick. So once they start going, if you look at mine, once they start getting that sort of caramelized, bit like a creme brulee look, that's when they're done. So you're not basically cooking the pineapple, and that will go hard. Mine's hard already now. And then you just want that in there. So in the meantime, if they're caramelizing away, remember to keep an eye on them, but take yourself 2 forks for your chicken mole and literally just grab a thigh and then just pull it apart. 2 forks, opposite ways, and then just pull apart.
You're not doing anything else with the tortillas, are you? Simon's asking.
Oh crap, tortillas. Yeah, good shout, Simon.
I just put no.
Good shout, Simon. So tortillas, right. So a good way to do them, if you've got a pan and you can be asked, you can heat a pan up, just chuck them in and warm them up, or you can just pop them in the microwave for 10 seconds. Chuck that in the microwave, 10 seconds, warm it up, and then we'll be done. So that's what I'm doing. I'm too drunk now to start putting
Say hello
another
to
pan
Liz
out.
Townsend.
Hello, Liz Townsend. Are you cooking, Liz Townsend?
Probably just drinking.
Do you know what, Liz Townsend? I've not had my bloody poster yet. Oh, apparently she sent. Oh yeah, I shouldn't say. Sorry, you're on with. Okay. Sorry. Right, so 2 forks, and literally just pull that chicken apart like pulled pork. Just grab the breast. You don't want like chunks of breast. We just want. Should all just fall apart now because you've had that cooking for best part of 40 minutes now. And you can see we've got like not too saucy, so it's going to be able to go in a tortilla and not all fall out on you. It's like a thick, stodgy, beautifully tasting. But just make sure you go through all the chicken thighs because you don't want to get a bit in that because it's a little bit of a bitch to eat when you're trying to eat it in a little tortilla. And you see what I say about leaving it to the last minute because you can see the heat coming off it now. If you'd have done it earlier, someone said, "Can I do it now?" If you do it then, this starts to cool down, and you don't really want to heat it back up because of the lack of sauce in there. If that makes sense. And if you have any of this left, like we did the other day, we popped it on nachos. We bought one of them packet nachos with the loads of cheese and chili, and we just popped it on top and whacked it in the oven. It was amazing. So if you've got any of this left, do not waste it. It's usable. If you've got any questions, just fire them over me. I'll tell you how to use it up. Right, as you can see, I'm starting to end up with a pulled chicken. You getting a pulled chicken there, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Right, so there we go. Pulled chicken. Yeah, amazing. Bang on, mate. I got my curry beans there, or my Mexican beans. So my Mexican beans now, because I've reduced them down, they're reasonably stodgy. I could probably put a bit of beer back in that to give them up, but I like my beans. When I have my baked beans, I actually overcook them like that, so the liquid goes out, so I end up with this stodgy stuff.
So hungry.
But if you want it a bit more liquidy, just add a little bit more liquid into it. But I'm happy. That's how I'm having mine. Yeah, they look good, Ronnie. That's how I'd have mine.
He's done brilliant, hasn't he?
Yeah. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plate one plate up, show you what it should look like, and then we can all bugger off and go and eat an amazing meal. Your pineapple, Ronnie, is that out yet?
Yeah, it's out. Cut it into 4 quarters.
Yeah, cut it into quarters or whatever fits in your bowl. It's basically just a garnish, and some of that smokiness is going to come off. So I'm going to grab my ice. I'm going to put 2 bits of the pineapple in. And pineapple juice in the fridge. Love. Can you pass that to us? I'm going to pop a good shot of tequila in there. A good shot.
There's one got you there.
Have you got anything on the left, Ronnie?
Well, we've done that one.
Oh my
Just open this one for us.
god.
Cheapness.
Oh my god.
Right, so there we go. So I have the smoky pineapple, the chili, the ice, tequila shots, a double in there probably, and pineapple juice. I'm going to give that to the wife now. She's going to let me know what it's like. Knowing the wife, she's going to love it.
Oh wow.
There you go.
That's lush.
Right, so
I should have had that shot.
tequila, tortillas, 10 seconds in the mic.
Ooh. Oh.
Right, so I'm literally just trying everything up now. You got that in there, yeah? Then you just top it up with your, and basically just make it to whatever strength you want it, Ronnie.
Oh.
Right, so I'm just prepping all this together now just to show you what an amazing meal this is. I mean, by the sound of it, though, some people have already eaten.
I think people have ate as they've gone along.
Yeah, that's cool. We're good with that. Do I have another little bowl like that, love?
Yep.
Just to pop the beans in. So you want yourselves, I've warmed that up for 10 seconds. That's fine. I'm going to pop a little bit of me moulet mix in there. Like so, don't worry too much about it being messy.
Just one?
Just one I need, love. So I'll pop the moulet in there. I'm going to take some of my pickled onions and just across the top. I'm literally just going to roll that up. We don't have to have it fancy or whatever. Right, so there we have the finished article. So we pop the tortillas in the microwave for 10 seconds, Ronnie.
And that, yeah.
Take that out. You literally just pop a bit of your chicken mole down the middle.
And that.
And then pop a bit of your pickled onions on, then just roll it up. Chest up.
And that. You know. And that.
Yep, and then get your salad bowl and pop a portion of the salad in there for your people, and then a bit of guacamole on the side. I had a little bowl for me beans, but you can just pop them on the side, or you could, if you really wanted to. I suppose you could make another one of these bowls up and have another bowl for the beans, but it just makes it look like that. And there we have it.
Hang on. And that.
There we go. Amazing.
Wow.
You're bang on. There we go.
That's
So
so
you've
cool.
got, everybody should have this. We should have a wrap filled with the chicken mole, with your pickled onions. We got our bowl of stuff, salad. We got a bowl of beans. We got a guacamole. We have, where is it? There. We have a smoky cocktail. We survived. We didn't chop any fingers off.
Jug.
Yeah, he's got a jug. We're rather drunk, and I think we're done. So I think everybody can bugger off now and go and eat.
God.
God
Cheers,
bless
Robbie.
That is really nice. That is, I can taste the chili. Oh man, you get the chili in that, don't you?
really good. That's really
That is mental. I'm drinking this forevermore.
excellent.
Right, so if anybody else got any more questions, I'm assuming everybody's done. You got about 5 minutes. Fire them over to me. I'll answer you back on Facebook. If not, we're going to love and leave you. Ronnie's going to end this. This was great fun. I'm kind of a little bit tipsy, and the shots were good.
Very
Right.
good. I got one more line.
Everybody's loving you, Ronnie. We're all loving Ronnie. Anybody who knows that we haven't even mentioned the Crows, have we? The Crows. Yeah, Ronnie's the drummer for the Crows. So all my fans on here, or customers fans. Oh my, I'm getting a bit big-headed, aren't I, fans? All my customers on here, if they don't know Ronnie, he's the drummer for those damn Crows. You need to go and buy their album. Go and check them out on YouTube. They're banging. They are an awesome band, and we love the Crows. We have a lot of time for the Crows.
Off
So
you
you need to go check them out. All my customers, go and check them out because they're good guys. They're good guys.
Awesome. They're going to come in the shop, aren't you, Ronnie?
Definitely. We can't wait, honestly.
The shop.
When we
come
get
make a
this,
pie, a crow
when we
pie.
get COVID and we can actually get near to people and touch people, we can come down the shop and bake. Josie's been there.
That would be amazing, honestly. That'd be absolutely brilliant.
We could do this live, see, on Facebook. And we'll teach everybody how to cook.
Let's do it.
We've got food, so we all need to bugger off and go and drink, get drunk, eat this, enjoy it. If anybody's like not baking today, you need to go and keep this stream, whatever it is, you need to go and do it because it is mental. It is going to be an amazing
You
meal.
need to save some of that cocktail for Claire.
I will. I will try. Here we go.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
hang on. Hang on.
All right. Cheers, Ronnie, mate.
Thank you,
Sorry,
guys.
it's been awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Everybody, message. Remember me if you need me.
message me if you
Any questions?
Any
We're
questions?
still here.
Message. That's
No.
customers, not you, Ronnie. I know you don't mean.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.